What's good, peeps? Thanks as always for passing by the channel. Much appreciated. Hit that subscribe button. If you guys are new, don't forget as well, please to like and share the vid. You can also support the channel as well. I do have a Patreon account. The link is in the description. All right, it has been a very, very, very busy last couple of days. Hence why I've not uploaded any videos. I don't know if you guys follow me on Instagram, probably not because I don't have many followers. But if you do follow me on Instagram, you would have noticed that I've been at the Sky Sports Studios for the last couple of days as I am getting ready to make my debut on Sky Sports. That day is Thursday and the time is 12 o'clock midday. So I would be on Sky Sports News this Thursday from 12 o'clock for about an hour discussing all the latest transfer rumours. After that day, I'll be on pretty much every other day. So yeah, watch it. Make sure you guys do tune in. 12 o'clock, Sky Sports News, midday. Your boy is going to be on. I can't lie to you. I am shitting myself. I'm extremely nervous. But I don't know. I guess once the cameras come on, that's it, innit? It's game time, right? Showtime. It's not like I can say, well, stop, I've got that bit wrong. Just got to keep on going. So wish me luck this Thursday. I was going to mention something else. Oh yeah, this little studio setup that I've got in my front room, we're going to have some big boy cameras around tomorrow, some big boy cameras and proper mics and proper lighting. So I can't wait to see how it's going to be transformed. I've got a channel called TRT World that are coming to interview me in my house tomorrow. And we're going to talk about Conor McGregor and obviously the UFC and his return and possible fights against Masvidal and his fight against Cerrone, maybe a Nate Diaz trilogy. So that all happens tomorrow. I'm going to try and set this camera up behind their big boy cameras just to kind of catch everything I'm doing and then show you guys exactly how they've transformed my front room. And it'll be very good to see what it looks like with real cameras. Obviously, I filmed this on my Samsung phone, which I think does a pretty good job. But I can't wait to see what a real camera makes this front room look like. Because I've been talking about possibly moving to a studio 2020 to just improve the way it looks. Maybe not. Maybe it's a case of investing in a real camera and it might be able to maybe make this place look. All right, before we talk Kell Brook and what's next for Kell Brook, let's quickly touch on this Errol Spence, Terence Crawford thing. I might do a separate video on it, but I'm sure you guys have been watching it or reading it over Twitter. These guys have been going back and forth for like 3 or 4 days. I think Terence Crawford's sister even got involved as well. I like it. I don't really like Twitter beef, if I'm honest with you, but I don't know. I've got a feeling that if Spence definitely does come back and fight in the summer. I remember he's come out himself and said he wants to fight May or June. If he does, and it's a big if, because I still think Spence should shut out the whole of 2020, but if he does come back, I'm not ruling out a Spence Crawford showdown back end of the year. December 2020, Spence Crawford. I'm not ruling it out. Do I think it's a bit far-fetched? Possibly. But I did see something the other day where PBC, I think, tweeted the list of sort of welterweight champions or the list of the top 5 welterweights. And for the first time in a long time, they actually acknowledged Terence Crawford. Yes, they had Errol Spence above him, but they actually had Terence Crawford as number 2. So I don't know. I mean, I just look for small things. All right, before we discuss all things Kell Brook, let me just... It was getting cold. Sorry about that. I had to get that coffee down me because I've just woken up. All right, what next for Kell Brook? I'm guessing people have probably tuned in to hear what next for Kell Brook, and we've only just got there after like 7 minutes. What next for Kell Brook? Obviously, he does have a fight coming up against Mark DeLuca. I'm not overlooking Mark DeLuca, not at all. I don't think anyone else should as well. Kell Brook's been out the ring for over a year. He's gone up and down in weight. He didn't look great in his last performance, which was, yes, a year and a bit ago against, was it Michael Zarafa? We don't know what's going on with him managerially. I don't know. Is that a word? It is a word, isn't it? Managerially. So I'm not overlooking Mark DeLuca, but Kell himself has come on shows like Talk Sport and said he's looking for the big fight. So he's maybe overlooking Mark DeLuca as well. But let's hope he gets past Mark DeLuca. What next for Kell Brook in 2020? Interesting question. You know what the problem is with Kell Brook? Problem for any fighter, to be honest with you. The worst thing or the worst position you can be in as a fighter is to be a fighter with very few options. Like, I'm here racking my brain thinking of what next for Kell Brook. And obviously the first name that comes to my mind is Amir Khan. That's obviously the one because he's been linked with Amir Khan for 10 years. But what are the other options? I mean, there isn't many out there for Kell Brook, and that's a big problem. I guess the only plus point is that he's with Eddie Hearn and Matchroom, right? And they can always, I don't know, supply someone. But to not have an option that kind of springs to mind straight away is a problem, especially when the only option I'm thinking about is Amir Khan. There is others and we're going to discuss them, but it's not a good position to be in. Look, there have been options in the past, right? Options not named Amir Khan. Let's not forget when Kell Brook jumped up in weight to 154 pounds, he did call out the Charlos, he did call out Jarrett Hurt. All those guys said, yep, the fights didn't happen. The fights didn't happen. Would you risk putting Kell Brook in with any of those guys right now? Absolutely not. So those are not viable options. They're not, let's be honest, guys. I mean, he's got to have at least 2 or 3 good or decent wins at 154 pounds to even talk about those guys. A name that could have been an option, but this guy has now gone down to 147 is Austin Trout. Austin Trout could have been a good fight for Kell Brook at 154, almost like a gatekeeper now, 154 pounds, but he's gone down to 147. He's chasing likes of Furman, Crawford and the rest. I wonder if you can convince him to go back up to 154. He'll probably do it, and he'll probably come over to the UK as well. The only option I think at this stage makes sense for Kell Brook, and it's a relatively easy fight to make as well. This guy is also struggling, Liam Smith, right? Liam Smith has joined Matchroom and it's done nothing. I mean, had the fight against Sam Eggington, then he's had one fight on the undercard in America, then he had another fight in Mexico. He's done nothing. He's struggling for fights as well. That's a decent fight to make. You can make it. It's a fight in the UK. I think people would tune in. Definitely not a box office fight, don't get me wrong. People would tune in on a Saturday night. It would sell some good tickets. And then it's a case of that person then goes on to fight some of the guys that might be fringe world level, and then world level if they get past that guy. That's the only fight I think that makes sense for Kell Brook. Amir Khan, wash it. Liam Smith is still good. As much as I don't think he's had the fights he needs to have, he's still a good fighter. When he stepped up to world level, like the very highest world level, he's been beaten, but he's fringe world level. So I think that's a good fight to make. Again, it's an easy fight to make. Liam Smith would definitely take it because he's begging to fight someone. He needs a name. I don't know if Kell would. I'm not sure if Kell would roll the dice with Liam Smith. I saw footage of those guys sparring. I don't know if it was Kell getting ready for GGG. Might have been. Liam Smith looks like he was handling Kell Brook. Looked too big, looked too strong. So I don't know. Again, that's sparring, right? And that was Kell moving up in the weight. This is Kell now at the weight. So it might be different, but it's an easy fight to make. I don't know if it's a big enough fight for Kell in terms of risk versus reward. Liam Smith is a risky fight. Is the reward big for beating Liam Smith? Not sure. So I'm not sure if that one happens, but my 2 names for Kell after this fight, again, please God, let him get through this fight, would be convincing Austin Trout to go back up to 154 pounds. And then if you get through an Austin Trout, Liam Smith. If you get through a Liam Smith, then someone like an Erickson Lubin or a Harrison or one of the big boys, right? You just got to roll the dice. I don't want to hear Amir Khan. I don't want to hear it. Peace.